Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel or Instagram, wherever you're watching this. Happy New Year. I'm so excited. I'm really excited for this new year. If you haven't already, go and watch the prophetic word that the Lord gave us for the new year. It's over on my YouTube channel if you're not watching this on YouTube, okay? And so this is an evening talk. I was gonna change the name to Red Bonnet Chronicles, but then I googled it just to be sure nobody was using that, but then I realized somebody was using Bonnet Chronicles already, and I don't know if it's kind of like I don't know how I feel about it. I'm gonna pray about it. But so for now, this is our evening talk. I may just leave it like that, but this is our evening talk. The first one of the year, so you're welcome. So today I want to talk about what I actually posted on Instagram for Word Wednesday. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, please go ahead and do so because once in a while I do post nice things on there. Okay, so follow me on Instagram. But on Instagram, I have what I call Word Wednesdays, and I just post a verse or a scripture that the Lord puts on my heart, and then just kind of talk about how whatever I want to talk about. And so today's word was Exodus 3, verse 1. And basically, that was my devotion this morning. And basically, it was talking about how Moses encountered God at the burning bush. But before Moses had that burning bush experience that we all know about, Moses was actually tending the flock of his father in law, Jethro. And so, Exodus, let me see if I can just read it. But basically, Exodus verse 3 no, chapter 3 verse 1 says, I'm sorry guys, this is the evening talk unedited, so y'all just had to kind of deal with my silence as I look up the verse because I didn't plan to actually read it on live. So here, 1 second. All right. So it says, now Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the far side of the wilderness and came to Horeb, the mountain of God. Exodus 3, verse 1. And so what I posted on Instagram and what I want to talk to you guys about is the fact that Moses was about his normal business when he encountered God, right? Because something that I personally struggle with, and like I said, I say in most of my videos, my channel is not about somebody who's made it, somebody who's figured it all out and is coming back to pull you guys along. No, this is somebody that is going. God is giving her nuggets. God is teaching her lessons, and she's jumping on here to teach you guys so that we can all go together. So the stuff that I talk about on my channels or in anything that I post is something that I'm either dealing with, I've just finished dealing with, and God is teaching me about it, and I'm posting it as I go. Again, because I want to be able to relate to people in the moment, right? Because sometimes after you kind of go through a season, it's you don't feel the emotions that go with the season as much, all right? And so this is not somebody that has, you know, figured it all out and is coming to talk to you guys about it, okay? This is somebody that's going through it. Anyway, so at the beginning of the new year, all of us are kind of focused on being disciplined, on, you know, our purpose, our destiny, making sure we're making sure we're making goals, creating plans, and just a lot of activity going on for our bigger selves and our purpose and our destiny. And that is something that I personally been doing. Like I have like 2 planners. I have my calendar on my Google, my Gmail, and like I have a whole lot of things set together, set in place because I want this year to be like the best year. I want to be my best self. I want to show up and accomplish destiny and purpose and all of the yada yada yada. Okay. But something that happens when we do this is anxiety. Sometimes anxiety kicks in where on the days where you don't feel like you've done enough towards your purpose, you've done enough towards your destiny, you feel like you're worthless because you feel like I wasted time. You feel like sometimes you could be doing stuff, but you even feel like that you're not doing enough because maybe it doesn't look like what somebody else is doing, right? And so you feel like maybe your life is not as purpose driven, your life is not as destiny oriented because you're not doing these big things, okay? You're not Moses in the wilderness leading Israel out, right? But something I liked about this verse is the fact that Moses was literally about his business. Moses was about regular stuff, tending sheep, taking care of flock. And it's the same thing that happened with David. David was in the wilderness doing the same thing, taking care of sheep, taking care of flock. When God went and called them in a moment, right? And what that tells us is the fact is that just because they were not doing these great things at that time does not mean that God's eyes were off them. So God's eyes have been on Moses ever since he was a little baby, right? But Moses wouldn't know that because God hadn't showed up to give him this big vision of his life yet, right? And so basically what I'm trying to get to is that in the regular things that we do every day, in the things that seem mundane, in the things that seem normal, in the things that don't seem important, God is actually using those things to train us. God is using those things as our training ground to bring us up. So you don't have to feel anxious if all you did today was clean your house, all you did today was take care of your kids, all you did today was make dinner for the family, because you feel like you didn't work towards your destiny, you didn't work towards your purpose. The fact that you were able to keep your house clean, the fact that you were able to be diligent about cooking for your family, or whatever it is that you did today, is something that God can use where you are to train you for whatever it is that is for your purpose or your destiny. Okay, so don't neglect. I feel like this is a message that, maybe a lot of us need, because sometimes I don't even plan it, but like I find myself talking about this same thing. Our regular day to day is very, very important. We shouldn't neglect it. We shouldn't feel like it doesn't matter just because it's not on a big scale. We're not speaking to thousands of people. We are not doing whatever we think we're supposed to be doing on a major scale, right? God was looking at Moses while Moses was in the wilderness. When the time came for Moses to walk into his purpose and to walk into his destiny, God himself showed up and gave Moses very specific instructions. And all that God required of Moses in that moment was for him to say yes, right? When Moses tried to do things by his own strength earlier, we saw that he killed an Egyptian soldier and he was forced to run. And that's what caused him to even end up in the wilderness, right? And so sometimes that's what happens when we try to do things on our own, because the issue or the destiny issue or the purpose that God put in Moses, or that Moses was supposed to solve, is something that he had already noticed a while back, right? He noticed the problem that he wanted to help resolve, and that was the fact that his people were being oppressed, right? But he noticed that, but he was trying to save them in his own strength, and that only ended up creating trouble. And even in that trouble, God was able to lead him back to himself and use him in his own divine timing to accomplish his purpose by God's power. Okay, so what am I saying? You may already know what your purpose is. You may already know what your destiny is, and it's good to work towards it. I love that in our day, people are so destiny and purpose driven and focused, because it means that a lot of people are realizing that they're not just on earth to eat and pay bills, right? It means that people are realizing that God created them with purpose, and God created them for a specific thing, right? And I love that, because it's like, it gives meaning to our lives, right? And I love that. But I don't want us to get to, the other end, where we are so purpose and destiny driven that we begin to not find value in our daily lives, not be satisfied with our daily lives. And not only that, but then we start to try to accomplish our purpose, accomplish our destiny by our own power, in our own timing, and we leave God completely out of the equation, right? Which is what Moses was trying to do when he killed the Egyptian soldier earlier. Okay, and so my point is, what I'm trying to tell you guys is, appreciate your day to day, right? God has value in it. It's the everyday things that you're doing, right? Your ability to stay consistent in cleaning your house, your ability to stay consistent in taking care of your kids, your ability to stay consistent and empowered as a wife, your ability to be a good friend. Like, God is using all of that as training ground for your purpose. So you're not missing your purpose just because you don't think you're not missing your purpose, right? You are not missing your purpose. And so I wish I could edit this video, because I feel like I'm repeating so much stuff, but I'm not gonna edit it because this is the evening talk, right? But you are accomplishing purpose. Everything, even your mistakes that you make, right? God already thought about them. God already saw them coming, and he already made room for them. He's gonna use them to get you where he needs you to be at the time that he has appointed. And when that time comes, it will be by his own power, not by your own strength. Okay. And so as you start the new year and you get excited about everything that you want to do, just make sure that This is God's world. This is God's game. We are just players in it. All we have to do is be there when he shows up and say yes to his instruction, and the rest is literally his role. We're just he's I don't even know what the saying that I'm looking for. Like, basically, to his thing, we're just kind of his part of it. We're just going along with it, okay? And so let's not forget that, right? Anyways, that is it, okay? I do encourage you to read Exodus. I'm reading Exodus because God has been talking to me about being stuck in the past, and so I'm reading it for myself. That's my devotional book right now. So if you want to join me, you're more than welcome, because most of my stuff is probably going to come from there anyway. So yeah, anyways, God bless you. A little housekeeping stuff. I'm going to be posting every Monday, like the regular videos every Monday. And then on Wednesdays and Fridays, I'm going to be doing the evening talks. So the evening talks are not going to be every day because I am starting school in 2 weeks. I'm very nervous about that. And I don't know what the workload is going to be like. And so I don't want to like promise to come on here every day for the evening talks, because that's not going to happen, okay? And so I decided that my regular normal videos are going to go live on Mondays, 8 a.m. Eastern time. So subscribe to the channel so you get notified whenever those go live. And then the evening talks are only going to be on Mondays and on Wednesdays and on Fridays, God willing, okay? That's my plan right now. We'll see how things go once school actually starts, okay? And so God bless you. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to comment. I love reading you guys' comments. You guys have no idea. It's so encouraging and so satisfying to know that people are actually watching these videos. Anyways, God bless you. I love you guys. Happy New Year. Mwah. See ya.